Good evening, Vegas sports fans. I'm Rob Heffner, aka Vegas Rob, along with my partner in crime, Ken the BatFrie Frie.
What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Just had a great Thanksgiving. It was like 65 degrees here on Thanksgiving Day. Ate too much, and I'm sick of leftovers already.
Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday of the season. I love the leftovers. I love everything about it. I like you said, you always eat too much. It's actually fairly warm out here. It's about 45 to 50 degrees somewhere in that area.
Oh, nice.
So it wasn't bad at all. It was a good holiday. I'd say, like I said, easily my favorite holiday by far. So.
Oh yeah, I love Thanksgiving. I love a good old turkey, and we had some prime rib this year too. So
there you go.
We were eating pretty good, and Celeste made a whole bunch of sides, and we had her mom over. We had a couple of friends over, and the neighbors across the way. So yeah, we had a nice little gathering too. Everybody had a good time. So. Another great holiday here in Las Vegas, and certainly, I have a lot to be thankful for.
Oh, absolutely, we all do, yeah.
Yeah, but let's definitely get into it here with our Raiders, man. What a win this was. In OT, it was a very dramatic win. It had me on the edge of my seat.
Oh, absolutely, Rob. It was a good win for the Raiders. It was a good one to a nice divisional win, win against a rival. Actually a close game win. We've been struggling with those, losing 6 games by 1 score or less, and so absolutely, it had me biting my nails. Also, down late in the game, and then being able to come back and get that field goal and send it to overtime was awesome.
Exactly, and then the way Carr drove the team down the field to take it into overtime like that. He drove 71 yards.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, and hitting Josh Jacobs for 43 yards. So
I'll tell you what, I thought he was gone there for a second, Rob. I thought he was going to make it all the way.
Yeah, I did too, and I'm here screaming, and then when they tackled him, some obscenities came out of my mouth. But we were kind of in trouble with the StreamYard police the other night, from what I understand. So I guess we have to tone it down just a little bit.
We'll keep the F-bombs to 2 instead of 3. How about that?
Right.
So use them wisely, Rob.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, that huge pass to Jacobs down the sideline, man. And then I was very confident. I thought we were going to get it in and not have to go to overtime. But Daniel Carlson making the clutch kick, and I know he missed a field goal earlier in the game, but with him, he's so consistent. An occasional miss here or there is nothing to worry about. And again, Devontae came up huge for us in the end.
Well, and that's what we signed him for in the offseason, to provide these big plays, and for Carr to have another weapon to throw the ball to. So I'm glad that things are finally starting to come together. We're 3-7. We're not where we expected to be at this point, but at least the games are still interesting.
Well, there's only been one game that they've been out of, Rob. That
Sure.
New Orleans games, and that New Orleans game, and that was, in my opinion, that was kind of like just like a mirage, or I don't know what the right word is, but it was a fluky kind of game. They lost that 24-0, but every other game, win or lose, they've been in, and they've been close games and good games. So got to find a way to win those.
Yeah, absolutely. All of our games, like you said, with the exception of the New Orleans game, we've been on the edge of our seat, all season, and we just have to, find ways to win the game, and then of course going into the overtime, the Raiders win the coin toss. We get possession of the ball, and the third play into the overtime is when all the magic happened.
I watched it a bunch of times, and how Devontae got that wide open, is insane. But a heck of a route he ran, and just Broncos just blew the coverage. Is what it comes down to. The Broncos blew the coverage and left them open.
Yeah, he was more than just open. He was wide open.
I think you or I could have hit him. He was that wide open.
I think so.
I mean, that actually happened. His first touchdown was the same kind of way. He was just so wide open that it was blown coverage or a missed assignment or something, or he just beat the coverage. But it wasn't quite the same route. It didn't seem like, but it ended up like almost in the same spot of the end zone too.
Yeah, Adams actually finished his day with 7 catches for 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he had a pretty good day for us. And Carr actually finished the day 23 of 37 for 307 yards. So
yep.
They were able to get it done. Offensively for sure. And then also, as well, you have to give credit to Max Crosby. He had a hell of a game defensively, for the Silver and Black. I mean, he's had a hell of a year. He's had a hell of a year, period. I mean, this guy, I'm gonna probably buy myself some new Raiders jerseys for Christmas, and I think he's one of the jerseys on my list.
Oh, absolutely. I hope the way he's been playing this year, I hope he gets some sort of consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. He's up to 9 sacks now. He had 2 sacks this past game, a forced fumble, which Denver recovered, but that was down at the 1 yard line. He stripped Melvin Gordon. They were going in for a touchdown, and they recovered at the 7 yard line. Then he ends up blocking the field goal at half there in that same drive. I mean, it was insane. I think that I could be wrong, Rob, but I think in that same drive he had a huge penalty. It was was it a roughing the quarterback? I think quarterback slid and he kind of dove over top of the quarterback and hit him with his knee.
Yeah.
And the referees threw the flag and extended the series. But then he stepped up there at the end and was able to strip Melvin Gordon, who ends up getting cut after the game by the Broncos, and then ends up blocking that field goal at half. As I had the game on my phone and I'm watching it, and when it came up because it was right before halftime, they're attempting the field goal. It's just that's a gimme. So I turned off my phone. And then I checked it about 15 minutes later. I'm like, the score didn't change at all, and I kept refreshing. I'm like, what the hell happened? And then I went back to watch the highlights.
Are you speaking of Melvin Gordon? Are you surprised that he got cut? That the Ponies cut him?
I'm not actually all that surprised. He has a huge he has a lot of issues with fumbling, and Latavius Murray he carried the bulk anyway. It doesn't seem like Gordon has been really producing the way they thought he might have. So I wasn't too surprised. Mike Laurel checking in. What's up? Hey, Mike, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, Big Mike?
I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Check him out on the 4 for 4 Locker Room podcast there on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. For all your Philadelphia sports talk. I wasn't too surprised by it. He is a good running back. I'm not going to take that away from him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does pick up somewhere else. I haven't heard that he has or hasn't. Because there's somebody going to be out there looking for running back, especially a contender looking for running back depth.
He hasn't been signed anywhere, but there's been some talk that he might end up playing for the Eagles.
Well, and again, depth is so big, especially for contenders coming late into the season. The Eagles are a running team; they're going to need it. Sean Kilrain checking in. He said, "What's up, guys? Chandler Jones has a strong history against the Seahawks." With 16.5 sacks, 12 tackles for loss, and 6 forced fumbles in 11 games. The problem for the Raiders is Jones did all that when he played for Arizona, but hopefully he can do it again. I just hope that Chandler Jones gets a tackle
Yeah, I just hope
mean,
he shows. I just hope
ugh.
he shows the hell up to play, and he's not like, and they don't leave him behind in a Vegas casino or strip club or something. Because honestly, you want to talk about a disappointment this year. Chandler Jones has been a major disappointment for this team.
Now, to give him a little bit of credit, from what I've been watching, like I said, I watch it on my phone a lot. Usually I'm at soccer games or some sort of sporting event for my daughter. And he does make a big tackle once in a while, but that's not what we're paying all that money for. We're paying him a lot of money to disrupt the passing game, sacks, pressure the quarterback, and he's not getting there. He's not even really pressuring the quarterback the way we were hoping he would have. And without Max, our defensive line is getting zero pressure on our quarterback. Max is just there all game long. It seems like with his tenacity and the motor that the guy has.
Yeah. I would definitely love to see him, step up, against the Seahawks because he does have he does have great stats against them. So if he wants to step up at any time, in tomorrow's game, that would be great.
That'd be fantastic. They're gonna have their hands full with Geno. The way he's been playing this year, he's been lights out, and they have a couple receivers there that are very good, and DK Metcalf and what the hell's his name, Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, and
so it's they're no joke. Seahawks, they're tied for first for a reason.
Yeah, they're tied for first, with the 49ers in the NFC West, and that was actually going to be one of my points when we did move on to talking about the Seahawks here, or as you call them, the Sea Chickens. That's pretty clever. I like that one, but yeah, I mean, definitely, Geno Smith is having a career year. I mean, to the point where he might even. He's playing for an extension in Seattle, and he's got a bunch of weapons around him. Like you said, with DK Metcalf, and I think that's going to be one of the keys to the game tomorrow. Defensively is to be able to try to shut down Geno, because you got to be able to shut him down. To prevent him from getting that offense going, that's going to be a big key, defensively. I think, going into tomorrow's game.
Oh, absolutely. Let's wrap up the Raiders win in OT here, and then we'll move on to tomorrow's game. One thing I want to touch on really quick. I like the way the offense did play. Carr seemed to get the ball out quicker, and then he took his shots when he had the opportunity to take his shots. They fed Jacobs nice, 24 carries, 109 yards. And Carr did spread the ball around a little bit. Devontae with his 7 catches for 141. He also had Mac Hollins with 6 for 52. You had Josh Jacobs, 3 catches, 51. That one big catch, obviously. But then also Justin Moreau. I was hoping they'd get Moreau more involved, but he only had that 1 catch for 33 yards, but that was a huge catch in overtime that moved him up the field a little bit, that made that final play possible.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they came out, they came out, and Carr executed, very well. He played with intensity, and got the offense. Got the offense moving for sure. So I mean, I hope that carries over to tomorrow, because there again, that was another key to I think to winning this ball game against a first place Seattle Seahawks team. These guys are obviously playoff contenders, and going into the game. The Seahawks are, favored. Not that necessarily always means, anything. But with that being said, we can't really afford many mistakes against this team, and to allow allow this team to get too far in front of us. So we don't want to necessarily get behind too early. So any chance that Carr has to get the offense, going at this point, I hope they come out and they're playing with intensity and they're all fired up and they're ready to go. One of the things that does concern me going into the game tomorrow, Ken, is that Jacobs is questionable going into the game.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Strained calf.
Yeah, strained calf, and it was a late addition to the injury report, from what I understand.
He was limited in practice, it said. So I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things. I guess it was bothering him from the game, but he still practiced. But then came Friday's practice, and he was limited. So then they had to put him on their injury report. Now, whether that leads to him being out, I don't know. I don't know what that really means. Is it serious? Who knows?
Well, yeah, and I'm sitting here keeping my fingers crossed, hoping that he's not out. Considering that the rest of the running back room has only had 16 carries so far this season.
They should be fresh, Rob. They should be fresh.
Well, they certainly should be. And Zamir White, we should see a couple of touchdowns out of him tomorrow if Jacobs can't go.
That's the one thing they should be doing anyway. Is Jacobs had 24 carries last game. I think it has all of our carries, basically. I don't think anybody else got a carry. Why are they not spread a little bit at least? They should at least, give Zamir White a couple, Amir Abdullah, Brandon Bolden. Sean Kilrain checks in. He says Tariq Woolen is playing lights out like a veteran, no rookie for sure. Quarterback for the Sea Chickens. Absolutely. Their defense has been playing much better. I think earlier in the season, it's not really the Seattle defense that we've known from years past, the Legion of Boom, but their defense has been playing a lot better, especially that secondary with Tariq Woolen and with the no rookie. Sean says there he's no rookie. I guess that's referring to Devontae, what he had to say about Patrick Surtain Jr. after he caught that game-winning touchdown. Basically saying he's not ready yet, because he's just a rookie. So, but if Tariq's going to cover Devontae, he's going to have his hands full. I mean, because they're going to go there. They're going to go there. It doesn't matter if he's covered, double covered, triple covered. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that is going to be a key matchup to watch tomorrow during that game. For sure, because I think Devontae Adams is going to have a slight advantage over him. I mean, we'll see once they play the game, but I think Devontae is going to have the edge.
Well, I mean, he is. I mean, debatable, but he is a top 2 receiver in the league, Devontae. So he should have the edge. But you just never know. I mean, it's one of those, you step up when you play against the greatest. You kind of step your game up as a professional. That's what a lot of guys do, and it kind of defines your career almost. I'm not going to say this game's going to define Tariq Woolen's career, but it's one of those career defining moments. You go out there and you shut down Devontae, all of a sudden it starts getting a little bit bigger for you. It starts getting it starts somewhere. It's like remember that time they shut down Devontae, 1 catch for 3 yards or whatever. Then it builds and builds. A lot like Darrelle Revis. He kind of came out of nowhere. He just started shutting down big name receivers, shutting them down, and all of a sudden it's Revis Island. The guy's just getting a huge name for himself. So I mean, this could be the start for Tariq Woolen. But let's hope not. Let's hope that Devontae gets open, Devontae exposes him, and hopefully, like against the Broncos, I felt like Carr did a good job spreading the ball around. Like I said, get into Matt Collins, get into Josh Jacobs. I think Keelan Cole Sr. even caught a pass or two. So
yeah, I mean he certainly did. He certainly did spread the ball around, and got the offense moving. When he had to. That's for sure. And I just want to see us keep moving forward.
Yeah, our defense played well last game. The Broncos are no offensive juggernaut by any stretch of the imagination. But you know, neither are the Seahawks.
Right.
The Seahawks, you know, they're a good offensive team. They've played well offensively. I was looking at stats earlier today. I want to say Geno, out of 10 games, I think 7 of the games he's had well over 200 yards. 2 of those games over 300 yards. But they're the running back Kenny Walker. I guess on 11-6 against Arizona, he had 26 carries for 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. Against the Chargers, he had 23 carries for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. But their last game out against the Buccaneers, which was a loss, he only had 10 carries for 17 yards. So I mean, he's not a change the game kind of running back, but he can be. I absolutely can be, but it's not. You know, he's not there yet either.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of potential there, and you know, Geno's had he's had a hell of a lot better season than I would have ever expected. You know, he was gonna have, and you know, I mean, you look at a guy like Russell Wilson. He's not having that great of a year in Denver.
I mean, and whether or not that's a talent around him, or it's just Russell Wilson, you know, regressing now because he's been in the league, you know, quite a few years, and he's not an overly big player. He's you know, small by quarterback standards, and he's taken some shots through the years, taken some wear and tear. So is this him regressing into retirement, or is it just the talent around him? You know, like he does have some players in Denver, but nothing that, you know, makes any team, you know, scared or nervous. And but it's same with the Geno with the wide receivers, you know, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Those are a couple guys that are you know, especially DK. You know, like he hasn't had a great season this year. I think he's been banged up a little bit, but he's the type of receiver that could be a top 5, top 10 wide receiver in the league.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, without a doubt. And you know, you're right. He hasn't had a career. He hasn't had a career year this year, but he's definitely proven that he is in the he's in that group of, you know, top 5, top 10, you know, receivers in the league. You know, for sure.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting if they have where they have Rocky Yassin play, if they're going to have him line up over DK, or they're going to have him line up over Tyler Lockett. He's just going to play one side of the field. You know, I'm not really sure, because he's basically our best defensive back right now, and he's had a decent year. There were, you know, earlier in the year he was you know, ranked in the top 5 for quarterbacks, which is insane because our defense is absolutely god awful. But it seems like the last couple of games he's exposed a little bit, giving up the big play. So we'll have to see what they decide to do with him. You know, is he going to follow their top receiver, or is he just going to play a side of the field, or, you know?
Yeah, you know, it's always interesting, and you know, nothing is ever guaranteed. It's like my dad used to say, you know, that's why they play the game.
Oh, absolutely. Another injury that's a little concerning besides Jacobs, Colton Miller, our tackle. You know, he's our best offensive lineman.
Right.
He's questionable also, so we'll see what happens there. Offensive linemen are tough guys that they usually play until they can't, you know, walk anymore. So I'd expect Colton Miller to play. I expect JJ to play. Our inside linebacker Masterson, I believe he's a rookie. He's listed as questionable also. He's been getting a lot of playing time since Divine Diablo got hurt. So we'll see. We'll see if he's able to play. And I thought he's been doing well, Masterson. When I was watching the game last week, he was flying around all over the field. So, you know, making plays happen.
Yeah, definitely. He was flying all over the place.
I mean, you were also talking about Geno. Was, you know, having a great year. I wrote down his stats compared to DC's stats. So here we got Geno. He's 230 completions at 316 attempts, with 2,474 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 4 picks. Then you have DC with 217 completions with 348 attempts. So he has less completions and a ton more attempts with 2,435 yards, and he has less yards, and DC has 15 touchdowns and 5 yards. I think DC's having a decent year, but with his record being 3-7, if it's 7-3, people are talking about DC as a potential MVP candidate.
Sure, yeah, and the record has a lot to do with that.
My God, yeah,
and of course, you being a Raiders fan for a long time as well, and they want to fans want to win. They want to win now, and people are still talking about running Derek Carr out of town. And every time I get in a conversation about this with people, it's like, okay, you want to run him out of town. Who are you going to replace him? Who are you going to replace him with?
Well, and you know what, Rob? It's funny you should say that. I seen it again the other day. I said this was going to happen, especially with Devontae being in Vegas and the Packers playing like shit. I seen Aaron Rodgers.
I've heard the Aaron Rodgers thing. I've heard the Aaron Rodgers thing too. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be totally shocked if he ended up in here in Vegas somehow.
You know what, Robin? I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be terribly mad at it. I love DC. He's my quarterback. He's our best quarterback since Rich Gannon, I think, easily. And but if you're gonna go for broke, why not do it with Aaron Rodgers? But he's so late in his career now, you don't know what the hell you're gonna get. It's
that's true. Because he would be the type of player where if you were one or two players away from going to the Super Bowl, you bring him in for a year in hopes of winning a championship. Now, if you bring him in, he automatically improves your your offense, but with this defense, is Aaron Rodgers going to be able, and the offense, would they with him at center, would they be able to come in and put these points on the board that are going to be necessary to win ball games at this point? I just don't know, with him being so late in his career. If he were maybe 4 or 5 years younger,
if it'd be like a 4 or 5 year like a contract or something, it'd have to be 4 or 5 years ago. But Rodgers, over his career, his defenses, they haven't been tops in the league, but they've been about middle of the road.
Right.
They've always had playmakers under defense between like Clay Matthews, Charles Woodson, our boy Raider Charles Woodson was there. Had a hell of a career in Green Bay, and so it's they've always had some playmakers, but their defense was never really the type of defense that was a shutdown defense. So, but he's always put up a lot of points. His offenses are always they're always scoring offenses until they got to the playoffs. And then whatever happens. And but that talk happened last year, and there's just it's old. It's like Brett Favre come out of retirement.
Yeah, the many times he came out of retirement. But I think I saw this week, with the Aaron Rodgers thing, the 49ers was a team that they said, the Raiders and the New York Giants was also talked about in the Aaron Rodgers possible landing spot. I mean, if any two places I see him going, San Francisco or Las Vegas, I think would be the top two.
Yeah, especially him being a San Francisco kid. He's from that area. Went to Cal, was a San Francisco fan growing up. What a way for him to end his career than in San Francisco, who, for all intents and purposes, first place team tied with the Sea Chickens. They're a pretty good team. There, might be a player or two away, like you were saying before. Defense is fairly decent. The offense is pretty much there now. and with the addition of McCaffrey, and like, so I guess I assume it'd have to be a trade. I don't know what Rodgers, if he can opt out of his contract, or if it's like a no trade clause, like he'll accept a trade to these places. I don't know how it is, or if his contract is just straight up. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the exact terms of his of his contract either. You know, time will tell. But you know, I'm with you on the Derek Carr train, or situation, that he's the quarterback. He's the quarterback unless they would try to go after a guy like Rodgers. But you also have to give him an opportunity, I guess, to learn this system, embrace this system, and I just don't see Derek Carr anywhere else but the Las Vegas Raiders. I can't fathom that.
I can't see it either. He just when I see him, I just think Raiders quarterback. I always viewed Derek as a good leader. He always kind of stepped up, said the right things at the podium, always owned up to his mistakes, always put it on his shoulders. It's all the things you want out of a quarterback, and he's, in my opinion, he's always performed too. Like obviously he makes mistakes. Obviously, he's not immune to the mistakes. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to go out there and go 25 of 27 for 360 yards and three. I mean, he could, but not with the people he has around him. It's just it's not the same thing, and people treat him like he is. It's not. He's the Raider quarterback. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Tom Brady. People are expecting that out of him for whatever reason. I don't know. They want him to be absolutely perfect, and every time he makes a mistake, it's like, oh, let's get rid of Carr. Carr needs to go. I said this for years. Carr needs to. I was watching a video of Jamarcus Russell. I shared that to our Out of the Box Sports Network group message forum that we have, and I shared a video of Jamarcus Russell, and it was 3rd and 48 or whatever. And it just I just remember in those days when Jamarcus Russell was our quarterback. It's like, you know what? I just can't, just look at that video and tell me you wouldn't rather Derek Carr as your quarterback. It's like come on. It's like, they forgot quickly what we had here for years. We had garbage.
And you're right. I mean, Derek Carr is the best quarterback that the Raiders have had, since Rich Gannon. I mean, there's no argument there. For me, and I would love to hear somebody try and make another argument besides that.
I mean, so you look at it. Carson Palmer, before he was with the Raiders, he had an okay career. In Cincinnati, he took off like a rocket. Then he got his knee tore up against Steelers. But then was he in Arizona before the? No, I think he was in Arizona after the Raiders. But then he retired to get away from the Bengals, and the Raiders brought him in, and he was a shell of himself. He was just, he wasn't the guy they were hoping for. Him being off and stuff like that, and then I think our next best quarterback after that might have been Jason Campbell. And I like Jason Campbell as our quarterback when he was there. We had Darren McFadden at running back, and we were actually winning a little bit. We were finishing 8-8, 7-9. He had us on a decent playoff run until he got hurt. And I don't remember who our backup was. It might have been Bruce Gradkowski or somebody like that. And it's not the same. DC is easily the best quarterback we've had since Rich Gannon. And people want to throw him away like he's nothing. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. And that's my thing. People that they want to point the finger at Carr for everything that's gone wrong. This season. Let's point the finger at him. Let's run him out of town. Okay, so you're telling me that you want to get rid of Derek Carr and you want to replace him with Stidham, or who do you want to replace him with?
Yeah, it's nonsense. Or hope for a high draft pick, or or hope you pick up somebody in the draft. You don't know what the hell you're getting out of them. We know what we're getting with Derek. We know 100% what we're getting out of DC.
Well, somebody was asking me today before the show. They had pointed out that they saw an article in the Las Vegas Review Journal that said if the season ended today, the Raiders would have the fourth pick in the draft for next year. And they asked if I was going to comment on it on the show. I said, well, no, I'm not commenting on that kind of stuff till after the season's over. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that postseason because there's still football games to be played. Yet, and some people are just putting the cart before the horse here. It's like we still have games left to play.
Yeah, there's still a chance we can go on a decent run here and reel off a couple wins and finish with a respectable record. I'm not going to say we're going to go 10-7. We're 3-7 right now. I'm not going to say we're going to run the table. But with the way we played the Chargers, the way we played the Chiefs, there's a chance that we could beat them next time we play them. We played them well. We played them tough. We had leads against them both. Both were close losses. We still play San Francisco yet. I'm not 100% sure who else we play yet. We already played Denver twice.
Yeah, we got Denver twice. We play, like you said, Kansas City again, the Chargers again. We have the Steelers. We have the Steelers on Christmas Eve. So yeah, we have a chance to win a few more games. And somebody also asked me if I thought the Raiders could make the playoffs. And at this point, I don't necessarily see it, but if they do, I would be happy that they made it. But to run the table against some of the teams that we still have to play yet,
it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it is going to be tough to do. Well, with that being said, I guess we could talk about McDaniels. How do you think McDaniels is doing so far? And there's a reason that I'm bringing this up, because our owner Mark Davis was quoted on several media outlets by saying that that he's not abandoning in McDaniels and that McDaniels is doing a great job. I'll let you go first, and you can kind of give me your take on this one. This might be the portion of the show where the F-bombs start flying for me.
You get two, and that's it.
Okay, well.
Wisely. All right, so with McDaniels, week after week we come on here, we rip them apart pretty good. I feel like deservedly so. Absolutely, the team has been garbage. It's been underperforming. A lot of the moves don't make sense. A lot of the play calling doesn't make sense. My biggest gripe has been, not running the ball enough. Now, when he runs the ball, we tend to win, and I feel like DC needs to get the ball out of his hands quicker. Now, this last game, he got the ball out of his hand quicker, opened up the big plays, and he hit the big plays. Josh Jacobs ran the ball 24 times. That's something I want to see. Defense played decent. They didn't give up a lot of points, but they still gave up a decent amount of yards. So I mean, he's our coach now. I'm not happy about it. I still wanted Harbaugh, but you know what? If they can continue playing like they did against the Broncos with that type of offense, the quick short passing, get it out quick, 3-step drop, get it out quick, 3-step drop, get it out quick, handoff, pound the ball in there. I'm all right with Josh then. But if he's going to go back to this next game against the Seahawks, it's going to be a close game. If he's going to go into that game and Jacobs is only going to get 15 carries, for probably 65 yards, which is what he's averaging over 5 yards a carry, and then he's going to have Derek throw the ball, 35 to 40 times, and getting killed back there, because he's dropping, taking 5 to 7 step drop backs. Then get his ass out of there. He needs to decide what the hell he wants to be. Josh McDaniels, is he going to be the kind of coach that's going to stick to the game plan, run the ball, quick throws, or is he going to be the kind of guy that's like, well, we ran the ball a lot last week, so we need to change it up this week? No, you just can't do that. Find your identity, which is run the ball, then short passes.
That right, and I've said this on other shows as well. He wasn't my first choice either. I would have been happy if they would have kept Rich Bisaccia, the interim head coach from
absolutely.
Last year, did a hell of a job, took the Raiders turned it around and took them on a hell of a run, after the John Gruden, resignation. And too, I'm a Harbaugh guy myself. I've always rooted for the Harbaugh, brothers. So, I would be okay with Jim Harbaugh coming, to Las Vegas too. But, he lit up Ohio State today. So honestly, I think, if he keeps lighting up Ohio State like that and not shitting the bed, I think he has a job at the University of Michigan for as long as he wants one.
Did you see how they did it, Rob? Though they ran the ball.
Yes.
They stuck to the game plan. Then they passed it.
He ran the ball, down their throat, but he also, got their passing game going. And but when I read this when I read this Mark Davis shit that they put out, like I first asked myself, I'm like, is he high, or is he, is he spraying way too much hair in his in his fucking that's one.
There's one.
in that hideous haircut he's got going on, is he breathing in the fumes from the hairspray, or what or is his 1989 Ford Aerostar that he drives, or because he drives a minivan. I'm wondering if he's like breathing the exhaust in from the van.
There's a leak.
Yeah, but I was just like he's doing a good job, and I was like, what in the hell is that? Like, what planet is this guy on?
If you had to put a grade on it, Rob, what kind of grade would you give McDaniel so far?
I would say right now he's like a C-.
I was going to go D+. Just because I don't like the inconsistencies, and also I heard some of the stuff I read that he also let Derek call some of the plays, which is something that he should do, which is something I think Bisaccia did a lot of. Who's our offensive coordinator last year? It was oh shit, I can't remember. He's in Indianapolis. Yeah, I think he's in Indianapolis now. I think he is. I don't know. I don't remember who it is now off the top of my head. But anyway, I think last year they let DC call a lot of plays, and that's something that they should be doing now. He's been in the league, 9 or 10 years. He's very capable of going up to the line, calling the play, or going to the huddle, calling a play, something that he thinks could work. Getting suggestions or getting a couple different plays through the mic set in his helmet. But with the one thing I don't like about McDaniels is it's his way or the highway. He wants it run this way, and that's it. You need to be flexible. He has to be flexible. If you're not going to be flexible, you know what? Go back to being offensive coordinator and just and ruin somebody else's. Night.
Well, he's so accustomed to this Bill Belichick, style, and you and I were kind of afraid of this. We said that this could be a bad thing. He needs to stop trying to be Bill Belichick and just focusing on being Josh McDaniels. Could he be could he be a great coach? That remains to be seen. And I would say when I make my C minus, grade of him, that the win against the Broncos, definitely helped definitely gave him a bump up in the grade a little bit. But we're just gonna have to see how he plays, how he coaches, the rest of the season, because I'm not sold on the guy yet.
No, absolutely not. Like I said, I support him because he is our coach. I want to see how the rest of the season goes. If they're able to turn it around, all right, let's give him another shot at. Let's give him another year. Maybe they finally figured some stuff out. Let him get more of his pieces in, and see where it goes from there. I mean, yeah. but if it's gonna continue to be a shit show where we play, decent football, and then the next week we're getting our asses handed to us. Well, then you know what, sayonara. See, next season that's it. You're not coming back, and go find a job somewhere else. And I think this is his last chance. I think this is his last chance as a head coach, I should say. I think if this fails, which unfortunately so far it is, but overall if this fails, I don't see him being a head coach anywhere else, unless Bill Belichick himself, gives him some sort of shining endorsement to be the next head coach of the New England Patriots. I don't see him going anywhere else.
Well, yeah, if he fails here, I don't see him going to any other team except New England. When Belichick retires, because I believe that if it would fall apart here for McDaniels, that he would have that maybe one more shot in New England.
That'd be it. Nowhere else. I cannot see it anywhere else. No, I can't see it happening anywhere else. Just because of his history with New England, but I can't see it happening. And did you watch New England play on Thursday on Thanksgiving?
I did.
You see speaking of haircuts, what's going on with Belichick's kids' hair? You think Bill Belichick would have some sort of your requirement, hairstyle requirement on the sideline? The freaking mullet is insane on that lad.
Well, speaking of hair, it's my understanding that Bill Belichick spends quite a considerable amount of money on hair care products.
He barely has any.
Right.
What the hell? Somebody's lying to that man.
Yeah, somebody's taking advantage of him.
But with his son roaming the sidelines looking like that, it's just like it's like you have Merv from the freaking the trailer park running your defense. So I guess Matt Patricia runs their offense now. He came back after getting his ass kicked out of Detroit. So,
well, one good thing about the Thanksgiving games is they were all good games.
They were really good games.
Yeah, and you don't usually see that. You'll have one good game, and the other two are kind of, one's either a blowout and then the other one isn't what you expected. But I can honestly say that I sat and I watched all three games, and of course I didn't have a dog in any of the fights. I mean, especially the Cowboys and Giants game. I'm like, could they both lose, or could it end in a tie?
You know what? I thought the Cowboys were going to run the Giants out of the building, but you know what? I give the Giants props, man. They fought back. They fought hard.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I guess that brings us to our final score predictions. I've picked the Raiders, I think, to win every game except the Chargers. But and as much as it pains me to do this, I have to pick against them tomorrow. I'm going 30-21 Seattle.
Boo! I was thinking the same thing, Rob. I'm thinking we always pick the goddamn Raiders to win, and they keep losing. I even picked them against the Chargers on our show, even though when Paul and I were doing the schedule, game by game schedule back in the first episode I was ever on, I said that the Raiders would lose to the Chargers. I still picked the Raiders to win because I'm on the Las Vegas sports scene.
Look at this point. If I pick the Raiders to lose and they win, I'll be happy.
I'll take it.
People can throw it in my face. People could say, "Well, you got on your show and said this." Look, I don't necessarily care about being right, but if it helps the Raiders win a couple of games, what the hell? Because every time I've ever put money on the fucking Raiders, and that's number 2.
There's number 2. That's it then.
Okay, but every time I've put money on them, they've lost. So I've learned not to put any money on the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm there too, buddy. So FanDuel has gotten me a couple times with the Raiders. So my prediction is I'm going with the Raiders, 27-20. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be good. Like all their games have been really close. There's nothing here that tells me that Seattle's gonna run away with the game. The only thing is it's in Seattle. We know how the 12th man is. Weather-wise, I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like. Seattle's crazy with rain, or I think I did see something where it was raining today, but it gets cold there also. There it does snow in Seattle, so
yeah, and I thought that there was rain in the forecast. Again for tomorrow, because I was looking at that, and from what I have read, or from what I've heard, from Derek Carr or McDaniels, because I'll watch a lot of the press conferences, and I read a lot of different stuff to prepare for the show, and what they have said was they are preparing for rain up there. So and I checked the weather forecast for up there today, and it is supposed to rain tomorrow. During the game.
Sounds like a good running day for
let's hope that Jacobs can play, and Jacobs can get it going. If for some reason he can't go, let's hope the other running backs can get it going, because like you said, the other ones should be fresh.
They should definitely be fresh. Is there anything else you want to cover with the Raiders before we move on?
No, I was good. We can just move on to the Golden Knights. And
real quick before we move on, Rob, I just want to remind everybody to like and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Hit that subscribe button, smash the hearts, the thumbs up, all that other good crap. Send comments in, questions. It doesn't really matter about anything, about any sport, any life questions. We like life questions also. Tell us about your life. You have an issue with your dog's puking a lot or something, let us know. Maybe there's something we know. It's a home remedy. A hamburger and rice. There you go. It's done. Fixed.
Yeah, we're always here to help.
Absolutely. So Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Tell your parents, brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles, aunts, cats, dogs, birds, crickets. Whoever has a TV in front of them, or a device, a mobile device, a laptop, smash that like, subscribe, all that good shit. Help us out here. And check out all of our other shows also.
Yeah, and leave us your questions, comments, complaints.
You can shove your complaints up your
Yeah, all right. I kind of like your attitude regarding that, Kenny.
Stick your complaints
where the sun doesn't shine.
So yeah, the Vegas Golden Knights, man, they're looking really good right now, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they've remained in first place with a record of 15-5, and then one overtime loss with 33 points, but it's still the Pacific Division, like we were talking about before the show is still a very close division, and there's still a lot of hockey, to be played yet. It's a long season, and it seems like, that the hockey season, gets longer and longer. I mean, here in Vegas, we want to be playing. We want to be playing hockey till the first or second week of June.
Yeah, that's what that's Stanley Cup time, right?
Yeah, and they are playing very very well right now. The goaltenders that are here in the absence of Robin, Leonard have played extremely well, and they're keeping the Golden Knights in this. They're a nice 1-2 punch. And you and I we discussed this, I believe, in our last show. And
Yep.
if they keep playing as well as they are, it looks like Robin Leonard could be very expendable. Here to the Golden Knights.
That could be a good trade piece, possibly. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean too, and with the Logan Thompson playing good, and Aiden Hill, too, that's going to be something to watch as well, because are the Golden Knights going to be able to or are they going to want to pay to keep two quality goaltenders? So that's also gonna be very interesting to watch here as we move along, during the course of the season. But my mother-in-law was here last night, and we're watching the game, and she never likes when the Vegas teams lose. So she hasn't been extremely happy with the Raiders this year, and of course, with the Golden Knights, she's like, she wasn't happy that they lost last night. And I said to her, I said, but you have to understand. I said, hockey's a long season. I said you can't expect the team to go 80-0. And Celeste goes, well, yeah, that wouldn't be any fun.
Well, no, that would be a lot of fun. I'll tell you what. But yeah, you're right. Like one NFL loss is equals probably 7 or 8 NHL losses.
Right.
So it's a huge difference. But yeah, what you were saying about the goalies, I mean, I think it absolutely pays to have two great goaltenders, or at least one great goaltender and one really good serviceable backup, just in case that your top guy either gets hurt or just goes on a shitty streak. I mean, that happens. You see, I think it seems like every year, Rob, in the playoffs, there's at least 1 or 2 teams that end up going to their backup goalie in the playoffs because their starting goalie just isn't playing all that well.
Right. It's good to have a nice 1-2 punch to kind of rotate the guys, and give them the occasional rest too.
Yeah.
So that's always good. But we're here still watching every game, and cheering them on. I'm hoping here that I'll be able to get to a game or two. I usually try to go to 2 or 3 a year, but with everything going on lately, I haven't. But I'd like to get back to the T-Mobile Arena and cheer on our Vegas Golden Knights, because it's quite an atmosphere. It's nothing that you haven't seen anything quite like it. It's Vegas. It's Vegas style. And it's
Vegas, baby.
It's the only hockey team that I've ever been to, or hockey game that I've ever been to, where I've seen cheerleaders. They actually have cheerleaders.
But is there I feel like there's another NHL team that has cheerleaders, but I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to.
I could have swore I seen another team with cheerleaders up. Or maybe I'm thinking of of the Reading Royals. I know they have a dance team out there. Reading Royals is a minor league team in my area. Now, you know who the Reading Royals are, but in case somebody watching out there, and the millions and millions of our viewers watching don't know who the Reading Royals are, it's a local minor league team, local to me anyway, in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
But
I never did a Reading Royals game, but I heard they're a lot of fun.
yeah, they're fun. I've been to a couple. We were at the 2 years ago. It was Batman night, so of course I was there. I had the mask on, and I had the Batman hockey jersey and stuff like that. So I was rocking and rolling that one. And then we also had a game last year, so they are a lot of fun. They're affordable for the family, just like pretty much any minor league thing you go to see, like minor league baseball, minor league hockey. They're usually fairly affordable for a decent sized family, which is what a family of 5 can get expensive if you go to a pro game.
Sure, definitely. And out here you'd probably have to take a small loan out to take a family of 5 or 6 to a game with the way the prices are. I think that the tickets here in Vegas are either the most expensive in the NHL or they're like second most expensive in the NHL when it comes to the ticket prices.
That's insane. That's a newer building too, though, right?
Yeah.
So I mean that's part of it too. And when you win, the ticket prices are up. I guess they adjust it for who they're playing too. At least I know that baseball does. If you're playing against a team that's not very good, that may not get the crowd, they usually knock the prices down so it does fill the arena up. Or if your team isn't playing all that well, maybe they drop the prices so it fills the arena up also.
Right. Yeah. And there's nothing going on that's new on the Oakland Athletics front. That story is kind of lost its sails again, lost its wind.
The winter meetings coming up soon, so who knows? I might pick up there again, but I'm going to be paying attention to that one as it goes on. I think the Athletics should go to Las Vegas. I don't think they're going to get anything that they want in Oakland. Clearly, the city does not support them, in my opinion. Just like they didn't support the Raiders.
Right.
Just like they didn't support the Golden State Warriors either. They let them move across the bay to San Francisco. So.
Yeah, I used to feel bad for Oakland, but I don't feel bad for them anymore.
I mean, I get it, Rob. It costs money, and the taxpayers shouldn't foot the whole bill, and
right.
And, the taxes going up and stuff like that. But it brings in a whole lot more than that. It brings in tourism, it brings in jobs and stuff like that. So it's a shame, and it brings in something nice to your area also. Because you just don't do a building. You do usually they do a whole area now. They do a park and all that other shit.
Right, and the XFL they had. There's not really too much going on with them either. They had their draft the other day I saw, and then they're also putting tickets on sale. But the ironic thing about that is they're selling tickets, but they're not telling people where they're going to play at.
They don't know yet. Probably probably don't have a building yet. We talked about that last show also.
So I would love to look into the season tickets, but I would like to also know where they're playing first, because we've talked about this. Anything that the Rock does is going to be good, going to be going to be a great time. So
yeah, he puts the effort in. He's balls to the wall, 100%. He wants it done. He wants it done right. He's going to do it right. He's not going to half-ass it. So.
Oh, and I wanted to say I didn't catch your show live this past Wednesday, but I did catch it on YouTube. So. There again, folks, that's why it's important to like us on all of our, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, like us everywhere you can, because you'll get an alert when the show comes on. And then after the show's over, you're able to go back and look at it, and you did a hell of a baseball show the other day, bud.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. It's I enjoy doing it. I'm glad you got me into this stuff, Rob. And it's I love talking baseball. I love talking New York Mets, especially right now in the off season. All the things that can happen, may happen. Who knows? Who knows what the hell's going to happen? So I like going over all the different scenarios and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Thanks for checking it out. And guys, when you are checking the shows out, like if you go back to YouTube and you want to look up one of the shows, just type in Out of the Box Sports and then type the show in after that name. And then all of our past shows will come up. Like, for instance, Out of the Box Sports, Las Vegas Sports Scene, and then all of our past shows will pop up. So if you want to catch an episode that you missed or you want to look back on something, like these guys are talking out of their asses. They said one thing 3 weeks ago, now they're saying this thing. Go ahead, go back and check it out, and send us a comment or a message through Messenger or whatever, and let us know.
Yeah, certainly.
We'll let us know where to stick that comment.
Right, exactly. Well, buddy, that's all I really had. That's all I really had to cover tonight. And do you have anything else to add?
No, just LA Kings in third place. As you know, I'm an LA Kings fan. They're playing much better than what I expected. But they give up a shit ton of goals. Jonathan Quick hasn't been playing all that great. Cal Anderson, their backup, he hasn't been playing all that great either. They've been scoring a shit ton of goals too. Kevin Fiala, with our big acquisition in the offseason from Minnesota, I think from Minnesota. He's been playing outstanding. Gabriel Velarde and stuff like that. I think Anderson. But just waiting for Adrian Kempe to step it up. Kopitar's been playing better. So third place right now. Like you said, early season, a lot to go yet. A lot of things have changed. I still expect Edmonton to creep up on all of us. That's a hell of a team Edmonton has. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to go over the shows now, guys. So if you've noticed, if you've ever seen past episodes, usually I'd pop our shows up from the Out of the Box Sports, and I'll read off which show it is, their time. We have something different now. We have a 1-minute clip of all of our shows on Out of the Box Sports Network. So please check that out. Plus our sponsors at the end. Please watch the video, and then Rob and I will be right back after this video, and we'll wrap it up. So I'm going to play the Out of the Box Sports clip show. A little bit of elevator music there, Rob. What do you think about that, buddy?
Yeah, definitely. Nice job. Whoever put that together, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a lot better than hearing my goofy ass voice. Read which one is off, and then getting tongue tied and messing it up and tripping over my words and all that stuff. So that's our new video clip for the shows and sponsors. Make sure you check them all out. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff like we said before. And that's all I got, Rob.
Yeah, we're out of here. We'll see you next week. And even though I picked the Raiders to lose tomorrow, just win, baby, and go Knights, go.
There we go. Peace.